In September 2008, Lehman Brothers, a 158-year-old Wall Street giant, collapsed overnight, triggering the biggest financial panic since the Great Depression. The fall of Lehman wasn't just a headline. It was a seismic event that sent shockwaves through every corner of the global economy. For decades, Lehman had been a symbol of American financial power, its name synonymous with trust and stability. But in a matter of hours, that reputation was shattered, and the world would never look at Wall Street the same way again. Imagine waking up to find $600 billion in assets simply vanished from the global economy. That's not just a number. It's the lifeblood of businesses, pensions, and savings accounts, gone in the blink of an eye. The disappearance of so much wealth overnight left governments, investors, and ordinary people scrambling to understand what had happened and what it meant for their own futures. I remember that day. The news hit like a punch to the gut. People rushed to ATMs, worried their money would disappear too. There was a sense of disbelief, a surreal feeling that something so massive could unravel so quickly. On the streets, you could see the anxiety in people's faces as they checked their phones for updates or gathered in small groups to discuss the latest rumors. It felt like the ground was shifting beneath our feet. Employees packed up their desks, some in tears, while the world watched history unfold live on television. For many, it was more than just the loss of a job. It was the end of an era. The images of seasoned bankers carrying their belongings out in cardboard boxes became an instant symbol of the crisis, replayed endlessly on news channels around the globe. Lehman Brothers wasn't just any bank. It financed skyscrapers, invested in startups, and had its fingerprints all over the global economy. From the tallest towers in Manhattan to small businesses across America, Lehman's reach was everywhere. The firm played a key role in shaping the financial landscape, underwriting deals and fueling growth in countless industries. But behind the polished glass, they'd been making risky bets on real estate. Bets that turned toxic when the housing bubble burst. As home prices soared, Lehman doubled down, pouring billions into mortgage-backed securities and complex financial products. When the market turned, those assets became worthless almost overnight, leaving the bank exposed and vulnerable. For months, cracks had been showing. Rumors flew about bad loans piling up and losses mounting. Inside the company, executives scrambled to reassure investors and regulators, but the numbers kept getting worse. Each new headline brought fresh panic, and confidence in Lehman's future began to evaporate. Still, most thought Lehman was too big to fail. After all, the government had stepped in to rescue other financial institutions before. There was a widespread belief that someone, somehow, would step in at the last minute to save the day. But this time, the safety net wasn't there. But late on September 14th, no one would bail them out, not even the U.S. government. Negotiations with potential buyers fell apart, and federal officials decided to let Lehman go under, fearing that another bailout would set a dangerous precedent. It was a decision that would have consequences far beyond Wall Street. That night, global markets braced for chaos. By morning, stock prices nosedived and panic set in. Investors around the world scrambled to sell off risky assets, and the financial system teetered on the edge of collapse. The sense of fear was palpable, as everyone wondered which institution would be next. Banks stopped lending to each other, credit froze, and businesses everywhere felt the shockwaves. The gears of the global economy ground to a halt, and even companies with strong fundamentals found themselves unable to access the cash they needed to operate. The crisis spread from Wall Street to Main Street in a matter of days. Ordinary people took the hardest hit. Homes lost, jobs gone, retirements drained. Families who had worked for decades to build a future suddenly found themselves facing foreclosure or unemployment. The pain was real, and it was everywhere, touching lives in ways that statistics could never fully capture. But here's the untold part. Lehman's collapse didn't just expose Wall Street's greed. It showed how deeply connected we all are by money. The financial system is a web, linking people and institutions across continents. When one strand snaps, the effects ripple outward, impacting lives in ways most of us never imagined. The world watched in real time as the crisis unfolded, as with news reports and social media amplifying the sense of uncertainty. Suddenly, terms like credit default swaps and subprime mortgages became part of everyday conversation as people tried to make sense of the chaos. The financial jargon was confusing, but the fear was universal. Since then, regulators have tried to tighten the rules, but the scars still linger. New laws were passed, and banks were forced to hold more capital, but trust in the system was shaken. Many wondered if the changes went far enough, or if another crisis could be lurking just around the corner. The lesson? Even the mightiest can fall, and the ripple effects reach farther than anyone expects. The collapse of Lehman Brothers was a wake-up call, a reminder that no institution is invincible, and that the choices made in boardrooms can change the course of history for millions. If you want more stories that get to the real heart of finance, hit subscribe and join me for the next deep dive. Together, we'll keep exploring the stories that shape our world and the lessons we can't afford to forget.